the NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Mobil 1, the synthetic motor oil that can save you gas and oil changes. Light beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang.
On a bright sunny day from Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois, CBS Sports presents the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris here at Soldier Field. And, John, we've got two first-year coaches who have had similar problems so far this season.
Yes, Tim. Monte Clark, of course, shook things up for the Lions early in the season. He had a lot of young players, made the decision to go with his young players. They've taken their lumps, but they had 461 yards against San Diego last week, and they're hoping they've turned things around.
Neil Armstrong, on the other hand, inherited a playoff team, a 9-5 record, but they've had their problems too.
Yes, 5 straight losses after winning the first 3 games, and of course the Bears must win this game for Neil Armstrong, or it might be all over as far as a division title is concerned. Joining us in the coverage of the Bears-Lions game today, our colleague on the sidelines is Bill Mazer.
Thank you very much, Tim. Just a footnote. It was here in 1927 that Jack Dempsey knocked Gene Tunney down for the famous long count before 104,000 people. Not that many here today. The Bears hope they don't take a long count today. Back up to you, Tim.
All right, Bill, there are officials. The referee is Bob Frederick, the umpire Lou Palazzi, the head linesman Sid Seaman, the line judge Art Holtz, the back judge Bill Swanson, the side judge Vince Jacob, and the field judge is Bob Wojman. And it'll be the Bears kicking off. Bob Thomas. It is Jesse Thompson from the 6-yard line, the rookie number 84. Thompson shakes one tackle, gets out to the 24-yard line before he is turned back by the Bears. Brad Shearer, number 72, made the tackle. Offensively, for the Detroit Lions, a quarterback will be Gary Danielson, making his 4th consecutive start. Dexter Bussey and Horace King are the running backs. The wide receivers are Luther Blue, number 89, Freddie Scott, number 87. The tight end is David Hill. And the offensive line, a young one. Baldischweiler and Oates are the tackles. Elias and Bodine the guards. And another rookie, Larry Terry, is the center, number 54. First down, Lions from the 24-yard line of Detroit. Bussey over the 30 to the 32-yard line behind good blocking by Elias and Baldischweiler. Tom Hicks, returning at middle linebacker number 54, made the tackle. Across the front for the Chicago Bears, Tommy Hart and Mike Hartenstein are the ends. Jim Osborne and Alan Page making his 3rd start at tackle. The linebackers, Buffon, Hicks returning from an injury, and Gary Campbell on the right side. The secondary, Terry Schmidt with Virgil Livers coming back after missing several games. On the right corner, Plank and Fensick are the safeties. It is 2nd and 4. In motion is Jesse Thompson. They flare it out to Thompson. A little screen on that side and good coverage by Chicago. Terry Schmidt, number 44, and Virgil Livers over there to help out. And they gained maybe 3 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and about 1. And it looks like the Lions are going to come out smoking again. Last week they pulled all stops and did everything under the sun, all kinds of reverses and screens and draws. And they piled up 461 yards in beating San Diego rather handily. And Monte Clark had been noted as kind of a conservative football coach, but no way last week. We'll see what they do this week. 3rd and 1, Detroit. Horace King, good hold. King still going over the 45 to the 46-yard line of Detroit before Doug Plank, number 46 for the Bears, made the tackle. First down, Lions. The last time these teams met, the Bears beat them 19-0, September 17th at Detroit. And Horace King and Dexter Bussey had a great week last week, and you can see good blocking down there as Elias knocked down Tom Hicks, number 54, which opened the hole. Doug Plank in on the tackle, but not before Mr. King had some good yardage. It is first down, Lions at their own 46. Wide right is Blue. Danielson to throw. Tipped and incomplete. Looked like Alan Page or Hartenstein got the hand up on it. The rush from the right side of the Bears' defensive front. As the Lions went to the air again, let's watch the pass rush. You can see 82 and Mike Hartenstein, number 73, to the right side of your screen, and Page lifted his hand up and just deflected the pass, and it might have been a good thing because Tom Hicks was in position to intercept number 54 for the Bears. So the Lions still have it 2nd down. All at the Lions 46. We are just underway from Soldier Field in Chicago here on CBS. Dexter Bussey. Oh, what a hit by Tommy Hicks. Nobody blocked him, and Hicks met Bussey right at the line of scrimmage. Bussey came into the game 6th in the NFC rushing with 554 yards.
Tom Hicks didn't play much last week. You see number 54 as he goes down the line, gets through the blocking, and there is Bussey and Hicks, and 54's got to get him. He's got him, both arms around him, and drives him back. Good defensive fundamentals by Tom Hicks, who is very valuable in there at that middle linebacker spot. He's had a sore shoulder.
Loss of 2, 3rd and 12. Extra defensive back in the passing situation for the Bears.
Big hole.
Danielson for Luther Blue, complete. First down, Lions. Big 3rd down play keeps the drive alive to the Bears' 38-yard line. Livers and Fensick on the coverage.
Good play selection by Gary Danielson as there's a big hole as Blue came across the middle. The linebacker was dragged out to the sidelines, so there's no linebacker between the passer and the receiver. Big wide open spaces, and he just turns in front of Virgil Livers, 24, and a first down for the Detroit Lions.
Lions come out in the I formation. Now they jump into the pro set. Wide right is Jesse Thompson, and they give it to King. Cutting back behind Larry Terry, the center, and Homer Elias, the left guard. It was Jim Osborne making the tackle after a gain of about 4.
Take a look at this score. New England 34-7 over the Jets, and that's only in the second period.
Well, the Jets off to a surprising start. They are 5-3. New England, of course, a team figured to be near the top or at the top of the Eastern Division of the AFC. Favored today, but the Jets figured to give them a little bit more of a game than that one is going so far. 2nd and 6. Lions on the move. Opening series. Danielson under pressure. Screen. Bussey. Good run by Bussey. Breaking inside the 20 for another Lions first down. Bussey with a burst of speed just cut back between the blockers and put the Lions inside the Chicago 20.
Dexter made the most out of that because actually it wasn't a classic screen as they let the Bear defensive lineman through, but Bussey is right up among his linemen rather than behind them. And as you can see, he's caught up in the middle of the screen, but he makes the most of it there as Buffon is out of the play. Good block by Bodine, and Bussey comes back across the grain and makes another first down for the Lions.
Gary Campbell finally stopped him. It is first down at the 20-yard line, just inside the 20. Dexter Bussey hit behind the line of scrimmage. Good stop on him. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Bears and the NFL is prohibited. Let's go down to Bill Mazer.
Just a point about Gary Danielson, the quarterback for Detroit. When he went to Purdue, it was at the behest of Mike Phipps, the man sitting on the bench for Chicago. He played here with the Chicago Wind. He is now the key man on the Detroit team.
All right, Bill, it was Mike Hartenstein making the big defensive play for the Bears, and there was no gain, actually loss of about a half yard. Second down. In motion is Blue. Danielson, good protection, complete to David Hill. Hit immediately, did not get much. It was Gary Campbell again, number 59, making the tackle. Big David Hill, number 81, replacing the retired Charlie Sanders, has 20 catches coming into the game. An outstanding young tight end in the NFL. Danielson is 4 for 5. Starting well for the Lions here after taking the starting role from the veteran Greg Landry. Gain of about 3 yards on that play, and we'll call it 3rd and close to 8. For David Hill, complete. Knocked out of bounds at about the 1-yard line of the Chicago Bears. Gary Fensick knocked him out of bounds, but again, another big play by the Lions.
Actually, the Bears had good coverage there. Fensick was right on him, but it was a perfect pass. As you're going to see, Hill come off the line, goes down about 10 yards, and makes his move to the outside. Fensick is about a half a step behind. The pass was right on the numbers, perfect from Gary Danielson, who was on the move too. So you can see that Gary Danielson's got to be a big reason, right, Tim, for the improvement of this team.
There is no doubt about it. They're playing with confidence. They believe in him. Last week he was 22 of 32 and 3 touchdowns against San Diego. He's passing at a 52% average. for his 3 starts. First and goal at the 1. Horace King touchdown. And the Detroit Lions have opened the scoring on a most impressive first series, and the Chicago Bears are receiving the boos of the crowd.
Watch 62 at the left side of your screen, Lynn Bodine, number 62, as he takes and kicks the linebacker out and opens the hole before Hicks can make the tackle. Horace King scored his first touchdown since 1977, and it was a beauty. Classic blocking by the Detroit Lions, just like last week. They marched down against San Diego, scored a touchdown. They do it again this week.
75 yards in 12 plays. Benny Ricardo attempting the point after, and it's good. And so, with 8:33 remaining here in the first period, the Detroit Lions lead the Chicago Bears 7-0.
Welcome, everybody, to the light beer battle of the big guys. And there they are, 2 teams locked in mortal combat to decide the eternal argument over light beer from Miller. On one side, the big guys who think the best thing about light is it tastes great. Yeah, it tastes great. Tastes great. On the other side, the big guys who think the best thing about light is it has a third less calories than their regular beer. It's less filling. Less filling. Less filling.
I feel strongly both ways.
I tell you, this is really no respect. Blue is the violet and red is the rose. You don't pull them or break your nose.
The tension here is almost unbearable.
Oh, you guys.
They can't go on much longer. Something big has got to happen soon. Holy cow, look at that.
Hi, Mickey.
Hi, Dolls.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I still don't know why they asked me to do this commercial.
The Lions will kick it off after going 75 yards in 12 plays. Let's go down to Bill Mazer.
Tim, big news down here. James Scott will not play. That's the latest word. I just talked to him. Back up to you.
Okay, Bill, he apparently pulled a muscle in practice on Friday and was doubtful since that time. Tried it in the warm-up, and as Bill has just reported, evidently, he just doesn't feel well enough to go, and they're hurting at wide receiver, the Chicago Bears. The kickoff taken by Spivey at the 5-yard line. Spivey, good return out to the 30. Tom Skladany is now doing the kickoff duties. Ricardo still kicking field goals and points after. There's the Detroit scoring drive. Dan Gray made the tackle on Mike Spivey, number 47, and the Bears will start first down from their 29 with Steve Schubert starting in place of James Scott, and Golden Richards, who's playing with tender ribs, will be the other wide receiver. First down, Chicago, and it's Schubert coming wide left, Richards in the slot left. Harper and Payton, the running backs. Now a little shifting around. Latta goes to the right side to make it strong, and
What's
Payton
going on
comes
here?
back off the line. That's the most motion we've seen all year. Avellini on first down, complete to Payton. Good block by Greg Latta, and Payton turns it on down the sideline. Is knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line of Detroit. First down, Bears. Well, there was a lot of razzle-dazzle in the lineup.
Well, we didn't see it here, but that was a multiple offense. But Avellini did a good job here because Baker was hanging all over him, and Payton just came out of the backfield, avoids there, and then gets a block from Greg Latta, number 88, and turns it on down the sidelines before he is finally knocked out of bounds. So the Bears make their first play go with a multiple offense.
It was Paul Neumoff, number 50, who finally knocked him out of bounds. First down, Bears, with a little razzle-dazzle shifting. And it is
Here
first
they go.
down at the 46. And look at the Lions shifting with him.
Wide open.
Behind Dennis Lick and running hard. May have a first down.
Charlie Weaver made the tackle on that one, but they got it set up so that Payton got to the outside. He had number 70, Dennis Lick, out front. He said, "Follow me, Walter, follow me." And there's the kick out block. Payton takes the inside route, and finally number 59, Charlie Weaver, made a great ankle tackle. But the Bears on the move. An offensive football game so far.
John Morris,
Walt
you and I
Williams.
talked last night about the eye. I noticed they're using all these sets. What are they doing? Confusing that Detroit defense?
Yes, they are. They're forcing the Lions to move around quite a bit. They may catch on to this after a while.
First down, Bears, with Richards in motion. Pass to Richards, complete, and he was wide open there. Walt Williams, number 21, The man who was victimized on the block by Lick on the last play is the man who made the tackle there, but he was well off. Golden Richards. Defensively, for the injured Ken Sanders, Dave Purifoy acquired this week at left end, along with the outstanding rookie Al Baker. The tackles are Woodcock and Bill Cook playing for the injured Doug English. The linebackers, Newmoff, O'Neill, and Weaver. The secondary, Williams and Bradley are the corners. Jimmy Allen and Mike Burns starting today at safety. Of course, James Hunter still out with a hamstring pull. This is Walter Payton trying to bounce away from tacklers, but the Lions hang on to him, and it looks like they stopped him short of the first down on 2nd and 4. Charlie Weaver, number 59, on the tackle.
Anytime you do a lot of shifting like that, you do force the defensive players to move around their positions and make them think at the last second, but a lot of times the defense will eventually catch on to that the Bears end up in a normal formation, so they you have to do different shifts. If you keep doing the same type of shift, they'll eventually catch on to it.
Mike Cobb has come in to make a double tight end, and Robin Earl is in the backfield. 3rd and about 2. First down. First down, Roland Harper. Williams and O'Neill on the tackle, and a big 3rd down play as the Bears keep their drive going, and the Lions went the length of the field in the opening series. The Bears trying to come right back on their opening series. Cleveland Browns ahead of Buffalo 20-7 in the second period. Browns 4-4 trying to get over the 500 mark in the AFC Central. First down, Chicago. Complete to Richards. Dropped the ball. That'll be a completed pass. It's still loose. Looked like the Lions had it, but the Bears got it back. Johnny, there were 3 Lions around the ball after Richards dropped it on a tough hit. And the Bears got it back. It looks like Reeve Sorry.
It must have been a greasy football because the Lions had it at least twice. He catches the ball, had possession. Now he's trying to dodge away and gets hit. Now here it looks like the Lions have a cinch recovery there. As you see, about 3 Lions jump on it, 2 of them there. And then it just squirts away and squirts away. It's kind of hard to tell who got it, but the Chicago Bears have the football. First down on the 8-yard line. A tough break for the Lions, who thought they had the ball back, but the Bears have it 1st and goal.
It was Reeve Sorry who recovered for Chicago. A tough hit by Jimmy Allen, forcing Richards to drop the ball. Payton on the cutback is met right at the line of scrimmage. Ed O'Neill and Paul Newmoff, the linebackers, 55 and 50 combining to stop him. He got maybe a yard. Let's see where they spot it. They gave him about 1.5 yards. No, now they're going to give him, let's call it 2 full yards. 2nd and goal. The ball is at the 6-yard line.
You see Steve Schubert brought in a play, number 85. This has to be a must game for the Bears. They've lost 5 in a row. If they lose this one, any chance of winning the division is out the window. So their backs are against the wall.
2nd and goal. Harper and Payton, the running backs. Cavallini wants to throw. Intended for Payton. He cannot hold on. Coverage there by Weaver and Williams. The pass just off the end of his fingertips.
Even though Walter Payton hasn't been rushing for all that much yardage, last week he got 34, which is the same as his number. He's become much more valuable as a pass receiver. A lot of his big gainers the last 2 or 3 games have been out of the backfield on short passes, and that's accomplishing the same thing. If you can get him out to the outside, catching a pass, he'll be one-on-one. It's like making an end run and getting him around the horn. So the Bears have been trying to take advantage of that because they've been stacking so much on the end runs. He hasn't been able to get upfield.
Payton had 26 receptions coming into the game today. Bashnagel in at wide receiver brought the play in, and it's Roland Harper straight ahead. Got to about the 5-yard line, and that's all for a gain of 1 yard, and it'll be 4th down. Bill Cook made the tackle. Bill?
John, I'm just noticing down here right next to the Bears bench, looked to me like they were using a double tight end set, weren't they? 88 and 87.
They use a lot of double tight ends when they get down near the goal line for the added blocking. That time it didn't work out too well, though, did it?
Doesn't have anything to do with the injury, though, huh?
Well, it did last week. A couple of receivers were hurt, and they had to go to the 2 tight end, but it didn't have in that situation. That's down near the goal. They do that a lot.
Thank you.
Bob Thomas will attempt the field goal from the 13-yard line, and it is good. And so a 23-yard field goal by Bob Thomas has the Bears on the board. And with 3:44 remaining first period, it's Detroit 7, the Bears 3.
know what you could do with Mobile One? You can now drive from New York to Los Angeles without an oil change. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles without an oil change. That's what you can do with Mobile One.
Introducing a whole new breed of Mustang. The all-new 79 Mustang from Ford. With a new aerodynamic design, precise handling, and Mustang performance from options of V6, V8, even a turbocharged engine. Mustang for 79, the new breed in 2-door and 3-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
Dear Great Pumpkin.
They're back. All the Little Peanuts characters in a happy Halloween special. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
It's been a long season for these two coaches so far. Neil Armstrong watching his team lose 5 in a row. Ball taken at the goal line by Jesse Thompson of the Lions on Thomas's kickoff, and Thompson gets back to the 25 of Detroit before Wentford gains number 36. Put the stop on him. The Bears went 65 yards in 10 plays for a 23-yard field goal by Bob Thomas.
And we were talking about the Lions. Have they turned it around? As we mentioned, they gained 461 yards. I found when a team is losing and they had come up with a big game, every team will do that because they get sick of losing. It's usually the game after that is to determine whether that team has turned it around for the season. So this is D-Day for the Lions also.
The Lions started off well in pursuit of that goal of winning 2 in a row, scoring on the opening series. Danielson, the quarterback, number 16. This is Horace King. King is hit at the line of scrimmage, did not get much, maybe 2. Alan Page, number 82, ranging over to make the tackle. Tommy Hart, number 53, was there too. Bill Mazer.
Tim, just a note. I mentioned at the beginning that Gary Danielson was a freshman when Mike Phipps was a Heisman Trophy candidate in '69. When Danielson graduated, he was so little thought of, he wasn't even drafted by the National Football League, and look at him now.
Danielson in his 4th start really has the Lions moving, and the word is that the players are responding to him. They're happy to have him in there. They like his mobility, and they like his confidence. Draw play, it is Horace King dancing and running well for a first down. Detroit out to the 38-yard line. Tommy Hicks and Doug Plank finally get him.
Good individual effort by Horace King on the draw as he shifted over and then just followed his blocking as best he could. There was a lot of traffic, and then he puts a move right here on Gary Fensick, and Doug Plank, 46, gets in on the tackle. First down, Detroit.
The Lions have looked impressive so far, as they did last week, and that's understating it, with a 31-point outburst in the first half against San Diego. Danielson, first down, complete to Freddie Scott, number 87, and it's Virgil Livers on the right corner, back from his groin injury. First down again, Detroit. It's now at the 47-yard line of the Chicago Bears.
How Kansas City and Pittsburgh doing? Look at that. The Steelers 20-3 over Kansas City at the half. The Steelers are 7-1 going into today's action.
Stinging from their defeat at the hands of the Houston Oilers. Dexter Bussey. Good pursuit by the Bears defensively. Doug Buffone turned him inside. Tommy Hart stripped a block, and Hartenstein and Hicks made the tackle. Team defense, a gain of only 1, 2nd and 9.
The Bengals 7-0 over Houston at the halftime. Cincinnati 0-8, looking for that first victory. Of course, the Oilers are 5-3 with a chance at that Central Division.
Well, they cannot afford to lose to Cincinnati today. They consider themselves a playoff team. Cincinnati certainly hungry, if nothing else. 2nd and 9. In motion is Luther Blue, back behind the ball. They cut the other way with Horace King, number 25, and he's met by Alan Page after a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Gary Campbell in on the tackle as well. It'll be 3rd and 7. for the Lions, and let's see if the Chicago Bears have the defense or the Lions have the first down offense. They worked impressively on third down in the opening series.
Detroit had suffered 31 sacks going into this game, but not so much the last couple of games since Danielson has come in.
Slot formation right. Pressure from Page.
Oh!
Danielson showing some scrambling ability. Hartenstein in pursuit. The pass is complete to David Hill, the tight end. Gary Fensick on the tackle. First down yardage. And the only question whether he unloaded it behind the line of scrimmage, and apparently he did. It was very close.
You talk about an individual effort by Gary Danielson. Alan Page forced him out of the pocket, came back, running to his left, and then had to throw on the run. 7-3 in the first.
When you want it cut out quick, our brand's the one to pick. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC. We help you pick up speed, and speed is what you need. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC. So when you want to go, we're the name to know. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
Thanks, AC.
Zenith announces a breakthrough. System 3.
System 3.
The best Zenith ever.
The best ever.
A brand new picture tube for the sharpest Zenith picture ever.
Sharpest picture.
And an all-new modular chassis.
All new.
Designed to be the best performing, the most reliable color TV in Zenith history.
The most reliable.
Zenith. System 3.
System 3.
It's the best Zenith ever.
Well, the Detroit Lions had the ball for 10 minutes and 11 seconds in the first quarter. The Bears for 449, and Danielson 7 of 8 for 78 yards to 5 different receivers. Bill?
John, I was just going to ask you, just down here on the field behind the Chicago bench, I don't get a feeling of intensity at all.
Well, we'll get John's comment on that as he has had a chance to spend a little time around this team here in Chicago. The pass complete to Luther Blue from Danielson. And he picked up about 5 on the play. Let's call it 2nd and 5. Johnny?
Bill, I think that's a pretty good observation. I think even the players have said the past few games they've been kind of flat, and they're trying to get that intensity. And when you get it, if you get it, how you get it, nobody really knows the answer, but the Bears are looking for it, and they could sure use some of it.
Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris and Bill Mazer at Soldier Field. We are just underway in the second period. It is 7-3 Detroit. They scored in the opening series. The Bears replied with a field goal, and here's some razzle-dazzle double reverse. Jesse Thompson. Thompson away from one tackler, and Thompson has a first down. He's out of bounds at the 19 of Chicago. Terry Schmidt pushed him out. Lions threatening again.
There's a halftime score. St. Louis leads Philadelphia at the half. And Washington over San Francisco in the second period, 14-10. A nice reverse by the Lions on that last play. And Thompson had Doug Buffone out there one-on-one, gave him the deke, got to the outside. And here's a look at it. They pulled this play last week, and you can see a block by Danielson, threw a block there on Hart. And then here it is, one-on-one. Tough job for Buffone, and Thompson did the job, got outside of him, finally pushed out of bounds.
Lions in scoring position again. First down at the 19. Horace King off tackle right, and he's got lots of room. Good blocking down the right side. First down.
And you can say that again. Good blocking by Brad Oates. Number 74. He did the job on Tommy Hart to allow that run to get outside.
They're going to measure. It's very close. And they're not going to measure. They've ruled that it's just short because the ball's right on the line there, so they could easily spot it. It's second and about a foot, even less than that. The ball resting on the 10-yard line of the Bears. The Lions really moving the ball impressively. Dexter Bussey. Bears stack him up right in the middle of the line. Got maybe a yard. Gary Campbell and Doug Plank on the tackle.
Let's take a look at it from our ground view action. They only needed about a foot, and they got enough in there before the stack up, and that's all Detroit wanted on this play, was to get that first down, and they got it.
First and goal at the 9-yard line of the Chicago Bears. The Lions have yet to surrender the ball with a punt. Nor have the Bears.
Oh.
Touchdown, David Hill in front of Terry Schmidt. A super catch. And Gary Danielson looks like an all-pro here today.
He can really pull the trigger, can he? He got pretty good pass blocking. As Danielson goes back, just a quick post, and he's in front of Terry Schmidt. The zone is cleared, and it's one-on-one. He's in there. No way to stop it. From ground level action, you can see Hartenstein trying to put the rush, but Baldwin pushes him to the outside. And there it is, simple pattern, as long as you don't have traffic in front of you.
Jesse Thompson, the receiver, not David Hill. And the point after by Ricardo is good. And so the Lions have jumped into a 14-3 lead with another impressive drive, 75 yards in 11 plays.
The financial capital of America. Home to hundreds of investment firms. But whose thinking is sought by corporations and governments? Who is quoted almost every day in America's business press? Yet who always has time to help any investor of any size? You know who. There are lots of investment firms, but there's only one, Merrill Lynch.
Introducing a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
Next Saturday at 4:30 on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see undefeated Olympic champion Howard Davis slug it out with Luis Davila. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Tom Skladany will kick it off. Deep are Gaines and Bashnagel. It's into the end zone, taken by Bashnagel. Bashnagel upset at the 22-yard line of the Bears. The man to hit him was number 58, Tony Dakin. Let's go down to Bill Mazer.
Tim, just an observation. I'm right behind the Chicago bench. You'd think there'd been a death in the family. The defense has carried this team for the first 8 games, 3-5. If that offense doesn't come alive right now, John, it's going to be a long afternoon in the Windy City.
23-yard line of the Bears is the starting point here. They scored on their first series with a field goal by Thomas. The Lions have moved the ball twice for major scores. The last one, a pass from Danielson to Jesse Thompson. Avellini on first down. Up the middle, Latta's open at the 42 to the 44-yard line of the Bears. First down. Ed O'Neill, middle linebacker, on the single coverage of the tight end.
Greg Latta, the Bears haven't used the tight end very much as Latta came down the field and went across on a crossing pattern and beat the zone in front. He's in between linebackers and safeties and makes the grab coming into the picture here, and they finally bring him down. The man with orange glasses. He's got a pair of glasses on that you wouldn't believe, Tim.
You could see Ed O'Neill starting to look out at the wide receiver, number 55. By the time he turned around, Latta was open. The ball was there. It is first down Bears on a good play. Strong side left. Walter Payton coming back the other way. And can get nowhere as the Lions did the job defensively. They cut him off in a hurry. Ed O'Neill the man to stop him, but they really had excellent coverage along the line of scrimmage.
There was a missed assignment along the way. You could see Noah Jackson talking to Greg Latta, and apparently they got a little confused as to who was going to block who, and of course that's a no-no when you want to play to succeed, and it did not succeed.
Dave Washington was in at linebacker. He's gone out now. Newmoff is back in. A loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Payton again. Ed O'Neill. Loose ball. Detroit has recovered. Ed O'Neill put the hit on Walter Payton. And the Lions have recovered and have a first down in Chicago territory.
Okay, let's watch Pure 4 and Ed O'Neill, number 55, as he jerks the ball out. He just actually ripped it out like Dick Butkus used to do. Lions ball.
These are two of today's newest razors. The one on the right is the new Norelco rotary razor. This one has two blades. The new Norelco 36. This one pivots up and down. The new Norelco has 3 adjustable heads that float and a new shaving angle. Both give you a close shave, but there is one thing they offer that Norelco doesn't. Gotcha! The new Norelco rotary razor. Very close, but no gotcha.
You know, for too long now, bowlers have been left out of light beer commercials, and football players have been grabbing all the glory. But bowlers know light beer from Miller tastes great. We know light's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. We know light's less filling. Bowlers love light just as much as football players.
That's right.
And we also love the easy opening can.
You sure
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Americans have always had a love affair with the automobile. And of the more than 2,500 different cars introduced, one was the best-selling ever. This one, Ford Fairmont.
Presenting Fairmont 79, designed for a changing world, with lots of room for the money. A great EPA mileage estimate for today's driving, and a range of sticker prices that are surprisingly low. America has made Fairmont the best-selling new car ever introduced. Sedans, wagons, and the exciting Futura at your local Ford dealer.
Jimmy Allen recovered the ball for the Lions. Walter Payton, number 34, the man who dropped it on the hit by O'Neill. It is first down. Lions at the Chicago 48-yard line. Dexter Bussey picks up about 3 on the play before he's stopped by Hicks and Alan Page.
Let's watch the middle linebacker, Tom Hicks, playing with that sore shoulder out of the University of Illinois. It's his duty to shed off that blocker and then jam it up, and that's what he did. He got away from Terry and was in on the tackle.
Second down and 7. Lions bring it out. Neither team has had to punt as yet. We have 10:54 remaining first half. Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris and Bill Mazer at Soldier Field. Danielson, incomplete. Gary Campbell could not squeeze it. The ball overthrown, and he had a great opportunity there, but could not hold on to the interception. Next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, we'll have a 10-round lightweight fight for you. Howard Davis Jr. against Luis Davila from Atlantic City. And also another edition of the World's Strongest Men, the wheelbarrow race. That's at 4:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Central. And how about the wheelbarrow race? You ever tried that, John? 750 pounds you got to push.
Well, they take about 500 out of there. I'll try it.
It is 3rd and 7. Danielson. Incomplete, intended for Freddie Scott. The ball went right between his hands. He took a good shot, but after he had a chance to catch it, he just missed it.
That's right. Danielson was just a little bit high, and it had to be a hand catch. If he had caught it, it might have been jolted loose because Doug Plank gave him one of his Chicago specials.
This will be the first punt of the day by either team, as it looks like the 49ers giving the Redskins all they can handle. 14-13 at the half for Washington. They had won 6 and have lost their last 2. Schubert, the deep man at the 10.
And there's the Packers ahead of Tampa Bay 6-0.
Skladany's going to pass. Skladany incomplete, intended for Bill Gay, who was wide open. The pass a little high, and Gay could not hang on. The backup tight end, a rookie from USC. And so the Bears get a break there, and they will take over at the line of scrimmage with 10:35 remaining here in the first half.
I'm hurting in places I didn't know I had. They got me doing things I never thought I could. Feeling good, feeling strong, part of something I belong.
The Army can make you feel a lot of ways. Challenged, trained, and proud.
With this time, with these people, with this feeling, feeling good, feeling good.
This is a perfect JCPenney combination of style and savings. From now until November 3rd, our Luxury Touch blazer, reversible vest, and slacks are each 20% off. Their rich look and feel make this a real value, but there's more. If you buy this blazer, vest, and 2 pairs of slacks, you've got a coordinated wardrobe of 6 different combinations in a choice of colors. Luxury Touch clothes at JCPenney. This is the way to lock up a great look for yourself.
Let's take another look at it. I think Gay may have lost it in the sun. Pretty good play there, pretty good surprise play, and the pass wasn't all that bad, but he puts his hands up late there, and it goes through for the incompletion. But I'll say one thing, the Lions aren't afraid to do anything these days.
That's for sure. Freddie Scott was in a similar position on the field when he dropped his pass, and the sun may be a factor. It is a bright sunny day. Temperatures in the mid-50s here in Chicago. Perfect football weather, but the sun a problem for the receivers. First down Bears as they take over on the missed pass on 4th down by Detroit. Walter Payton has no room to run. Got maybe a yard and a half on his own effort. Dave Purifoy, the new defensive end, replacing the injured Ken Sanders, made the tackle.
And if you don't think they're waiting for Walter Payton, take a look at this. There's about 5 white jerseys right there and not much running room. And we were talking about the sun, Tim. You know, daylight saving time, they had the switchover last night, which makes that sun low here going in this direction, going the other direction. And that, I think, very much could have been the reason that he dropped that pass.
2nd and 9. Dave Purifoy picked up on waivers from Cincinnati. Many years with Green Bay. Avellini lofting it for Richards, incomplete, out of bounds. Well out of bounds. He was also well covered by Luther Bradley. Or make it Walter Williams, number 21. Walt Williams on the left corner.
Hey, John, did you notice that I was the closest man to the pass? He had me, and Williams was crying that he didn't intercept. John, let me ask you something. There's a story around the league now that Payton and his guards, Jackson and Soria, complaining that they don't want to go into straight-ahead blocking and run down the middle, that they want to go to the outside.
Well, they have, because Payton had so much success last year on the outside, and it hasn't been successful this year. A couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of talk by the linemen. They wanted to try some outside runs, but they did against Tampa Bay last week, and it didn't work.
Buccaneers shut him off completely. 3rd down, nearly 9. Avellini trying to sideline her again, incomplete. Williams on the coverage, and Williams talking to Richards there, no doubt saying, boy, did I have you covered. And I'm not sure about the move you made either. I don't think Avellini was sure about that move.
I think there was a little mix-up between Richards and Avellini. Bob might go over and talk to Golden Richards right now and say, well, I thought you were going to cut back a little sharper or something like that. And Golden says, well, the way we did it in Dallas, I did it this way.
Woodcock and Purifoy had the pressure on Avellini. Might have thrown it a little bit sooner than he wanted to. 4th down, Bears. Bob Parsons' first punt of the day, and he hits it from the 37-yard line. The rookie Jesse Thompson, who has a touchdown, takes it at the 15 and gets out to the 25 before he's pulled down by Jerry Muckensturm, number 58. Jesse Thompson, an outstanding young-looking receiver, number 84 from California, 10th pick in this year's draft, and he brings in the plays with Luther Blues. There's the score with 9:36 remaining first half.
Where might you be going with that? Same place you're going, Father. I'll check it straight through for you. You better hurry.
Man, it looks like I got about an hour yet, eh?
More like 10 minutes, I'm afraid. Gonna see you're satisfied.
At United, we give you all we've got. Take off to touchdown.
Working together.
We built the largest airline in the free world.
Round to my friend.
You wouldn't be spoiling me now, would you?
We're gonna try.
Tough Ford Trucks, America's best-selling truck line. Ford Tough. Tough Couriers. And tough pickups. Tough four-wheelers and Broncos. And tough vans. Tough big trucks. Tough Ford Trucks. America's best-selling truck line.
Next Sunday on CBS, see NFL doubleheader action. Most of the country will see Dallas take on Miami. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Preceding the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday is a sports special from Washington, D.C., the International from Laurel. live the mile-and-a-half turf race featuring some of the top horses in the world. Wewa and Noble Dancer II from the United States, Trillion from France, and Frere Basile from France. Stone from Italy should be exciting from Laurel next Saturday at 4. First down for the Detroit Lions from their 25, and that is Horace King, stopped by Osborne and Hicks after a gain of 3 yards. It is 2nd and 7.
Look at this one. The Steelers now lead Kansas City only by 3, 20-17 in the third period. Kansas City was 2-6 going in.
The Lions 2 and 6. The Bears 3 and 5. They're both in the NFC Central. The Bears figure to be up near the top. Instead, they're down there flirting with the cellar. This is Dexter Bussey. Bussey forced out of bounds at about the 32, and the first flag of the day has been thrown. We have had only 2 punting situations. Spladani elected to pass, and it was incomplete. Parsons has punted once, and our first penalty goes against Detroit.
And I noticed the Bears have changed their coverage since last week when the Lions put 2 wide receivers on the same side. The Bears are bringing the other cornerback across, who happens to be Winford Gaines right now. Last week, when they did that, Tampa Bay, they went with Fensick, a safety, had to cover a wide receiver. So they have changed the coverage from last week. The Lions obviously trying to take advantage of what they saw on the films last week.
Here's the word on the penalty. Well, we couldn't hear it either. Bob Frederick, the referee, calls holding against the Detroit Lions. And so it'll be 2nd down and the ball back at the 19 of Detroit. Extra linebacker is in for the Bears. Going with a 3-man front on 2nd and long. In motion is Luther Blue behind the ball. Swing pass, Horace King. King gets to the 18-yard line. Good coverage by the Bears. Alan Page and Gary Campbell making the tackle.
Well, they tried the screen pass. This time they really smelled it out. And watch 54. You see Tom Hicks. He sees it right away. He beats those linemen over there. And up comes Gary Campbell. And Hicks at least busted up the play. He wasn't in on the tackle. And finally, Page and Doug Buffon, Tommy Hart's in on there. And they stopped that play. Everybody was there on that one.
It is 3rd down. No gain on the play. Might have even lost about a half a yard. See what Danielson can do here. He has been most impressive today. Draw play. King shakes one tackle, but not the next one. That is Tommy Hicks, number 54, and Doug Buffon, number 55. And so the Bears hold. The Lions will have to punt.
There's Alan Page, the new Bear acquisition. He takes one jolt there. Here comes Larry Terry, 54. He says, how about a little bit more? And finally, Alan Page gets his hand on the ball carrier, does not make the tackle, but he earned his pay on that play. Playing in his 167th consecutive game.
The Lions have 3 rookies on their offensive line, along with a 3rd-year man in Lynn Bodine and a 4th-year man in Brad Oates and a 3rd-year tight end in David Hill. And Monte Clark is going with them. And last week they had plenty of fun against San Diego. Nearly blocks. Spladani just got it away. Art Best, the man in close. It's taken by Steve Schubert at his 31. Schubert breaks out over the 40 to the 41-yard line and gives the Bears good field position. First down at their own 41. Rick Kane, number 32, made the tackle for the Lions, and we have 7:11 remaining first half. The Lions lead it 14-3.
This is the life. You work and I play. I am money. You're money. And I'll never amount to anything.
An IDS representative can get tough with money. Put it to work with a personalized financial plan. We've done it for 80 years for business and for people just like you. IDS. We help people manage money.
My wife got the house, but I got the Sony.
Darn. I thought they were going to give me a Sony.
Most people feel very special about Sony Trinitron Color TVs, probably because Sony Trinitron Color TVs are very special. You see, it's not just a TV, it's a Sony.
I hope he's not disappointed. I think he was expecting a Sony.
Chicago's Honey Bears along the sidelines, and on the sidelines with him is James Scott, who pulled a leg muscle in practice Friday. Outstanding wide receiver for the Bears at 29 catches, 5th in the NSC, but he is out of action today. The Lions who lost Ken Sanders, their defensive end, last week, and he's gone to injured reserve with a knee injury, and Doug English still out with a knee injury, and so those problems affecting both teams. Avellini on first down, under pressure, gets it away. Payton brings it back, trying to get blockers in front. Oh, what a tackle. Outstanding tackle by Weaver, number 59, as he came from behind Walter Payton to pull him down. It looked like he had some daylight.
Let's take a look at it. A great play by Avellini and a good play by Weaver. He gets the rush on. He can't find anybody down. He starts to run. He's almost on the ground, and he throws the ball to Payton. It looked like he was going to get big yardage, but number 59, Charlie Weaver, comes over the block and makes a great tackle. From Southern California, Charlie Weaver.
Outstanding. That hit on Avellini was by Dave Purifoy, their new defensive end. It just came with them this week from Cincinnati. Started the season in New England. Avellini will try again, and it's too high for Roland Harper on the 2nd and 7 play. Harper had first down yardage, but the ball a little bit too high for Roland. Let's go down to Bill Mazer.
Just going to say to you, John, I noticed there's been a change in the Chicago offense. They're not playing Lotta at all, and they've gone to Cobb, the new fellow that they got. And I'm wondering whether that's because of the rap on Lotta, because of his blocking.
He has been sporadic on his blocking. Mike Cobb has been out for several weeks with the bad shoulder. He played a little bit last week, but he is supposed to be a superior blocker, and I think they're giving him a test to see just how good he is.
Mike Cobb is number 87, and he makes the strong side left. Bears shift into the pro set. It is 3rd, close to 7. Pressure on Avellini, intended for Payton, incomplete. Weaver on the coverage. A flag is down. Payton appears to be hurt, and looks like we'll have an interference call against Weaver. Well, let's see what the problem is with Walter Payton. Bill Mazer?
What happened on the play was he grabbed Payton by the mask. Grabbed him by the mask and pulled it, and that's why Payton's down. And good enough. You can see it as well as I saw it just a moment ago. He grabbed him by the mask, held him up, and twisted his neck.
Well, Payton is still down. The pass went incomplete. Now Walter's getting to his feet. And apparently all right. He might have got poked in the eye there, too, in that same motion. Weaver was going for the ball, you could see on the replay, but the ball coming right in close to Payton's face, and instead of getting the ball, he got a little Walter. But it's interference against Weaver. And first down for the Bears at the 40-yard line of the Detroit Lions. Slot formation left. Wide left goes Richard. Schubert in the slot. Now the tight end, Cobb, comes over to the right side. Art Best in for Payton, number 25. Roland Harper, stopped by Woodcock, number 77. Avellini stumbling as he made the turn for the handoff and had to be an acrobat to get the ball to Roland. Picked up about 3 yards on the play, 2nd and 7.
The Bengals may win their first game of the year, 14-0 over Houston in the 3rd quarter, as Walter Payton comes back in the lineup and the mystery man Art Best comes off.
Art Best nearly had a block kick not too long ago in this game. The Giants in front of New Orleans 10-0 in the 2nd. NFL fans find it hard to believe the Giants might be a playoff team this year. Walter Payton, and there is no room at the end. Maybe a yard on the play.
And that's has not been working for the Bears all year, because they're running that from the pro set. They could sure let Walter look downfield a lot more if they'd run it out of the eye and give him a chance to survey the field, but so far they haven't done that very much.
Dave Washington made the tackle, number 52, in there for Paul Newmoff at the moment. Washington, the 9th-year man from Alcorn State, acquired from San Francisco in the offseason in a deal. It is 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Bears trying to keep it alive. They trail 14-3 with 4:55 remaining here in the first half.
Here they come.
The blitz is on. It's complete to Harper. Good play by Avellini, and Harper running hard as a first down to the 16-yard line. And Johnny, you got to like the way that Avellini picked up the blitz.
He did very well on that. So did Roland Harper, because the Lions put that delayed blitz as Ed O'Neill came through on the blitz, and Avellini picked it up.
Johnny, I was just going to say to you and Tim and John, you would know this. There's a commercial in town here in Chicago for an insurance company where Roland Harper says, "Do you know me?" If he keeps catching them like that, they'll know him a lot better.
Boy, he's rushed for 466 yards coming into the game today, too, and he's up there in the top 10 in the NFC, so he's really established himself this year. Bradley and Allen combined on the tackle for the Lions. First down, Bears. Pitch out to Payton. Shakes one tackle, can't get away from the second, and gained maybe 3 on the play. It was Dave Washington, number 52, on the tackle.
And that's where they run the wide play from the eye. He has a better shot at it, but it was good defense by the Lions that time. Detroit on the spot now with the Bears down. If they score, they can make a game out of this, make it close, put them right back in the game. But Detroit, they're stubborn on defense.
Payton has rushed 8 times for 20 yards. It is 2nd and 8. The ball at the 14-yard line. Cavallini got close to the 10-yard line before he was forced out by O'Neal and Woodcock.
That's the old rollout with Bob Avellini, and one thing about him, he never gets hurt very much. He has started 41, I think it is, consecutive games. It was a planned play. As he comes out, there's Walter Payton leading the play. And here comes Woodcock, number 77. Avellini comes around the horn, puts his shoulder down, said, "I'll take all you got," and knocks him out of bounds. Tough quarterback, Bob Avellini.
3rd down, 4 to go. The ball just inside the 10 of Detroit. The Bears threatening. Harper and Payton, the running backs. Same play. Avellini's got blocking, gets inside the 5. Touchdown! Bob Avellini just bowled his way into the end zone, had good blocking at the line of scrimmage, and then ran over Washington and Mike Burns, number 29, for the touchdown.
Well, the Bears haven't done much of that this year. You see 34 out in front. Walter throws a good block, and then Avellini just keeps his legs going, goes into the end zone, number 7 on the run.
So the Chicago Bears have closed the margin as we watch Avellini say, "Boy, I'm going to show some leadership. I'll do it myself."
Noah Jackson threw a nice shoulder block there. There is Payton's block, and then Avellini does the rest of it as he ran through those linebackers and defensive linemen.
Bob Thomas will attempt the point after. Bashnagel holding. Low snap and handled well by Bashnagel, and Thomas gets it up. And so with 3:14 remaining here in the first half, the Detroit Lions lead the Chicago Bears 14 to 10.
By the time this day is done, you'll turn a mountain of canvas
Want to drop your car off fast?
Nobody does it better. Hertz leads the others by far.
Use Hertz Express Car Return. You'll find it everywhere. And at busier airports, Hertz people can meet you right at your car to help you return it even faster.
I don't have to go to the counter?
Just catch your plane.
So rent a Fairmont, LTD, or other fine car fast from Hertz.
Hertz are the superstar.
Next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, see the CBS Sports special presentation of the 27th running of the Laurel International. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Bob Avellini's 9-yard touchdown run culminated that drive to make it 14 to 10. Thomas will kick it off. Thompson and Nat Terry are the deep men. Jesse Thompson, 84, takes it at the 9. And the rookie gets over the 25 to the 27-yard line where the Lions will start, protecting a 4-point lead. Next Sunday, CBS's NFL doubleheader day coverage will have these first games. Green Bay at Philadelphia, an important game for both teams. New Orleans at Pittsburgh. The Giants will be in St. Louis. San Francisco is at Atlanta. Detroit at Minnesota. And then doubleheader action will follow. Dallas at Miami. Tampa Bay at Los Angeles. Consult your local listings for the games and times in your area. Some cities will see only a single game due to the NFL blackout policy. First down, Lions. Danielson wants to throw. Swings it out to Horace King. King gets over the 30-yard line. Pulled down by Virgil Livers after a gain of about 5.
He had a little running room as the Lions go right to the air on first down. King takes the swing pass, and it was up to Gary Campbell, 59, to make the stop. And he didn't quite get him down, but he made him adjust his pattern and finally brought down, but a nice gain for the Lions.
Have to be impressed by that young offensive line. Carl Baldischweiler, Homer Elias, Larry Terry are all rookies. Lynn Bodine, Brad Oates, just a little bit of experience, 3 and 4 years. Deep for David Hill, a tight end. Can't hold on. A diving attempt by David Hill, a super pass from Danielson. Just a little bit too far for a stretched out David Hill to hang on to. Gary Fensick on the coverage.
There's a very, very big tight end.
Oh, yeah, you bet. He goes 6'2", 230. Let's go down to Bill Mazer.
You fellas are talking about size. The NFL put out a survey this week. The football player today in 78 is actually smaller than he was in 68 by percentages. The interesting part, we're looking at a guy named Virgil Ivers, number 24. He is 5 feet 8 inches tall. He alone brings the size of the league down.
But I'll tell you what, he plays like 6'8".
It is third down, Lions. 5 defensive backs in. For the Bears on the passing, there's motion by Hartenstein. Danielson intended for Luther Blue, incomplete. Coverage by Fensick, but a flag down. It looked like Hartenstein was offside.
It appeared that he jumped just a fraction before the snap of the ball. So we'll have an interesting situation. There's a little more than 5 yards to go for the first down. They'll take the penalty.
Gary Danielson, you saw his statistics for today. He gets more confident as each game goes by. Weighted in the wings. A third-year player from Purdue. And you see we have a mic problem on our referee, but it's offside, and it appeared to be Hartenstein. The first penalty against the Bears today, there's been only one against Detroit, an interference call. Make it 2 against the Lions, I believe. Third and about a yard. And Horace King has it and then some, and runs through a tackler to the 45-yard line. Doug Plank, number 46, finally put the stop on it, but it's first down, Lions.
These two teams have been playing one another for 45 years. The Bears have won 53 games, the Lions 35, and there have been 3 ties. Right now in this game, the Lions lead 14-10.
Homeward bound, coast of New England. The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Come fly with me in one magnificent flying machine, the 79 Thunderbird. I love its luxurious cockpit. Fly with a V8 engine.
Power steering and power brakes, all standard. Glide in great style with wrap-over roof and opera windows at a down-to-earth sticker price.
79 Thunderbird. What a way to fly at your Ford dealers.
Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris and Bill Mazer at Soldier Field in Chicago. Bright sunny skies and a bright sunny football game. Certainly for Detroit Lions fans. They lead at 14-10. Gary Danielson continuing to impress at quarterback, leading an enthusiastic young Lions team. And he has first down at the 45-yard line of the Lions. Complete to David Hill, the tight end. Hit immediately at the 50-yard line. Knocked out at the 49 of the Bears by Fensick. Picked up 5, close to 6 on it. Let's call it 2nd and 4. And you can see the Lions have slowly taken an edge in first downs, and they had 2 consecutive drives that led to scores. And the Bears replied after the first one with a field goal and have closed the margin to 14-10. Good catch by Freddie Scott, taking it away from Livers. Good hit on him inside the 30, but a first down, Detroit. A flag is down. Wentford Gaines, number 36, made the tackle.
Let's take another look. As he went down, turned in, and just as Livers got there with the ball, Thompson, Scott, I should say, stole the ball, took the ball up, down, and we're going to see a late hit there, according to the officials.
Well, this really hurts the Bears. Good tackle by Fensick on the play, but it looks like Plank is going to be the culprit. And we're still having difficulty with our referee microphone. So it is a personal foul against the Bears that gives the Lions first down now at the 14-yard line. And Danielson, 13 of 17 for 122 yards, trying to drive them in again. He got a lot of help from Freddie Scott on that last catch. Now they jump the running back King right up behind Danielson. He's sacked on the blitz by Campbell. Gary Campbell, number 59, blowing in from the right linebacker spot. Bill Mazer.
Tim, I was just going to say to you that I'd help you out as far as the officials' calls down here, but the one thing I noticed, that's the first time in the football game today that Gary Danielson seemed a little, didn't know what to do. And you notice he had King come up a little closer. They didn't pick the blitz up. John, the one thing I've noticed is how much confidence the Bears have in their free and tight safety. They'll play him on the outside men.
Well, they'll do that on a situation where the wide receivers go to one side. They'll put the safety over on the other side, but actually on the outside guys, they're trying to cover them with the cornerbacks. But one thing that you mentioned, when they did bring up King up close to the line of scrimmage, that hurt their chances of picking up any kind of a blitz. And of course, Campbell came on the blitz and messed up that play completely.
John, I understand. Have you got something up there? Because I can't see it. I was just going to tell you, is this your son that's wearing number 63 for the Bears? This fellow, John Morris? Is that your son? No, actually, let me tell the folks, this John Morris is the son of a former New York Times correspondent. He's been in the league 15 years. He came into the league the year that Johnny Morris set the all-time NFC record for receptions with 93. Goodbye, Tim.
Okay, Bill. First down, or second down, pardon me, for the Lions, and it is incomplete, intended for Bussey. He was popped by Wentford Gaines, the extra back in there on the passing situation. Could not hang on to the ball. And so it remains third down with the ball back at the 23-yard line. Tomorrow night here on CBS, it's Specials and Fun Night. It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, the Peanuts Spectacular, followed by Puff the Magic Dragon, and then come MASH, WKRP in Cincinnati, and Lou Grant. So lots of fun and comedy tomorrow night. Enjoy them all right here on CBS. Third down. The sack having driven the Lions back. Let's see what Danielson does here. Going for it all. Intercepted in the end zone. Hill turned inside. The pass went outside. And Gary Fensick, number 45, had a free shot at it.
Exactly right, Tim. Hill went across the middle, and apparently Danielson thought he was going to run a corner back to the corner of the end zone. You'll see Hill at the top right of your screen come in to the picture, 81 going across, and Fensick spotted it first that it was back to the corner, grabbed it with the two hands, and prevented a possible field goal by the Lions before the halftime. Could be important before the game is over.
1:05 on the clock here in the first half.
Let's see if the Bears go for a score or whether they'll settle for the running out the clock. In some past games, they've played very conservative in this kind of a situation.
It is 14-10. Detroit leads it. Avellini, lots of time. Intercepted. Well, he was not conservative, Johnny Morris. No. He tried to get it to Cobb, but Walt Williams, the covering cornerback, number 21, picks it off at the Bears' 28-yard line.
A good play by Walt Williams, who dropped off on their zone defense, dropped off his man, and made the interception. Let's take a look as Avellini goes back to pass. Not too much pressure yet as the Lions keep coming steady. And you're going to see Williams, number 21, who had dropped off his coverage, comes back in to intercept away from Mike Cobb. And the Lions have the ball and still a chance to get on the board before halftime with 58 seconds left.
The Bears have Wentford Gaines at the left corner replacing Terry Schmidt. The give is to Horace King. He gets to the 25-yard line of the Bears. 50 seconds on the clock and counting. Hartenstein on the tackle for the Bears. Tommy Hicks along to help. And timeout is called by the Lions. Their second timeout called. And they are certainly in a position to get some more points on the board following the interception. Tonight on CBS, CBS puts its Sunday best on, starting with 60 Minutes, and then All in the Family at its new time, 8 o'clock, 7 Central and Mountain, followed by more comedy on Alice. Kaz, now seen an hour earlier, is assigned to defend a baseball player charged with assault, it says here. Lucy runs away from home and winds up a hostage as Dallas moves to its new night. That's tonight, right here on CBS in Chicago and elsewhere around.
Boy, I can't miss that last one.
Dallas, you bet. Okay, second down and 8 yards to go when time resumes here. And back-to-back interceptions here in the final minute of the first half, with Fensick stopping the Detroit drive in the end zone. But then Walt Williams getting it right back for the Lions. And he has them second down at the 21-yard line of the Bears. 5 defensive backs in for the Bears. 3-4 alignment. Danielson for David Hill, complete. And the big guy drags Hicks down to the 2-yard line. 230-pound David Hill, the third-year man from Texas A&I. Another fine throw from Danielson.
Yes, he set up in that pocket and zinged Hill coming across. And if you watch the top of your screen, you'll see him coming across there. And when he's a big man, he makes that grab. You can see Hicks trying to chase him, and there's no chance for Hicks to get him on the coverage. And he almost dragged them all into the end zone, but he did get out of bounds to stop the clock for Detroit.
David Hill has rolled up 58 yards in pass reception so far.
We have a key situation here now. We have 38 seconds. 1 timeout left, 2 yards to go.
First and goal. Lions. In motion is Jesse Thompson. And a throw. Complete. Touchdown. David Hill. He juggled it and then spun around and caught the ball on the way down.
And look at that spike. We're going to get down in the end zone. David Hill says, I got it, under the legs. I had a hunch that Danielson wouldn't try and run the ball because of the time situation, and he really drilled this ball. You had to have good hands to hang on to it. He's wide open, nobody there. He juggled the ball, hung on to it, got up, and gave us the Detroit Lions spike.
Well, that was an outstanding catch. That was not Danielson's best pass. He's been very accurate. He threw that one behind David Hill, testing the young tight end, and he had to reach back, juggle it, and hung on. Ricardo with the point after. That's good. And the Detroit Lions, who rolled up 31 points against San Diego last week, have got 21 here in Chicago against the Bears. 34 seconds remaining in this first half. The Lions lead it 21-10. Well, as they line up for the kickoff, it'll give us this opportunity to remind you that next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, I'll be in Atlantic City for this lightweight fight. Unbeaten Olympic champion Howard Davis Jr. against Luis Davila. Angelo Dundee and Gil Clancy will join me there. That'll be live on CBS Sports Spectacular. And then we will stay right there in Atlantic City and tune our sets in to watch the wheelbarrow push up the hill on the world's strongest men, John.
And I have a new entrant, David Hill. I think he's strong enough to push that wheelbarrow.
Well, he dragged a couple of Bear defenders on the catch that got them in close before he went in for the score. And Tommy Hicks is no lightweight. He's a good-sized guy, and that Hill goes 230. Hicks about 225, and he just dragged him along.
This is going to end up being David Hill's best game. So far, he's done fantastic.
Skladany kicks it off. Bashnagel fields it at the 5 of Chicago. Bashnagel to the 25. And he is hit there by Dan Gray. First down for the Bears. Let's go down to Bill Mazer.
Johnny, I was just going to say, you've made my day for me. I had Detroit against Seattle a couple of weeks ago, and I kept saying all through the game that the most underrated tight end in football is number 81, David Hill. And today, he picked the day. He looks magnificent. Just great.
He certainly does, and there's that one that he dropped that was kind of a tough catch. If he had gotten that one, he'd have great statistics today.
You played with a pretty good tight end yourself, John.
Oh, Mike Ditka, one of the best.
Roland Harper straight ahead for about 9 yards before he's hit hard by Ed O'Neill, the middle linebacker, number 55.
The Bears calling a timeout, and Bob Avellini is going to the sideline, so they're going to try and get something on the board as we'll take another look at it. Here's the draw play. Dan Neal, 52, leading the way for Roland Harper, and Harper gets tackled because Neal didn't throw that time. Dan Neal's got to get down there and just throw.
Eddie O'Neill, another one of those outstanding Penn State linebackers, a fifth-year player. He's got a couple of interceptions. He has good range, very active, and he covers a lot of territory in there. Not a big name linebacker in the NFL, but a good one. You wonder why a school turns out one position that seems to be so strong consistently, and you can go to several of the big universities and see that happening, but Penn State's certainly well known for its linebackers. I don't know what the reason is, John, and maybe there is none in particular.
Penn State, I think, has about 28 players in the NFL. You know which team has most NFL players? Which college?
I give up.
USC, 41.
Now, most of them are on Tampa Bay.
Yes, a lot of them, about 8 of them. Colorado and Ohio State have 28 in the NFL. Penn State has 26, and the Bears have 22 seconds to get on the board.
It is second and about a yard for the first down. Let's see what they do here following the timeout. Avellini wants to throw. Complete. First down yardage out at the 44, 15 seconds on the clock, and the clock is stopped. It is incomplete. Well, I thought Walter had the ball, but it was a low one, and evidently he fielded it, and so they ruled it incomplete.
1 yard to go.
Third down, still a yard to go.
Well, the Bears certainly missed James Scott not being able to play, because with all the pressure on Peyton the last few games and the way they're stacking up on him, the only man that's really been able to keep him honest has been James Scott, because he's such a threat as a deep wide receiver, and it's really got to hurt him not to have him in there.
Lions getting good defense from a couple of their backups, Purifoy and Bill Cook playing for Ken Sanders, gone for the year, and Doug English still out with a knee injury. Roland Harper, look at him go. Roland Harper over the 50 to the 48-yard line. 7 seconds on the clock, and timeout call by the Bears. First down inside Lions territory. Williams made the tackle when they caught up with him.
And here's Bob Avellini talking to Neil Armstrong, who... Let's go down to Bill Mazer. I think Bill is on the sidelines with something to say, right, Bill?
John, I always have something to say. I heard you two guys talking about linebackers. Actually, Penn State has always had a tradition of them, going back to Matt Robinson. But when you talk about a tradition of linebackers, think about the Chicago Bears with Clyde Bulldog Turner, one of the greatest. The man who made modern-day middle linebacking, Bill George, came from the middle guard to be a middle linebacker, and then Dick Butkus. But as far as this Chicago team, it's the first time I've seen them this year, and I'm staggering a little because of the cable. I will say this to you. They don't seem an inspired team. They did when they were down 14-10, but Danielson just broke their heart, and Avellini misread that defense. Goodbye.
We'll see you later, Bill.
That's our man down there at the 49-yard line of Detroit. Let's see what Avellini and Armstrong and Ken Meyer, the offensive coordinator, have cooked up here with 7 seconds left. They would very much like to get on the board one more time and make it close with lots of football time left to be played. Lots of time for Avellini. Now he's pressured, and Woodcock got him. John Woodcock. They had excellent coverage downfield, and while the offensive line did a good job protecting Avellini, they could only do it for so long. And finally, Woodcock wrapped him up, and the sack was registered at the 40-yard line. Time has run out, and the Lions will take that 21-10 lead into the locker room here at halftime at Soldier Field. And the Bears certainly have run into a buzzsaw team coming off an outstanding victory over San Diego last week. The Lions, a 2-6 football team that scored 31 points in the first half last week. And as Johnny said at the beginning of our telecast and on our NFL Today segment, the real test for them is could they win 2 in a row? And so far, the Lions are playing like they believe they can.
You'd have to think that they have turned things around for the team to come back with a second straight effort. However, there's still a half to go, and the game is by no means over, 21-10. It's really critical for the Bears because they stand a chance now of losing 6 in a row unless they come back out and get on the board and score some points. Walter Payton has been basically negligible in this game. He had that one long pass reception, They haven't really done that much with Roland Harper, a couple of good plays towards the half, but they really just haven't had consistency during this first half. And then one big drive they had was mostly Avellini coming out on a couple of rollouts and got him across.
You know, I would mention that we had to be impressed by the fact that here are the Lions with a couple of key guys out of their defensive line. They've always had a good defense. They were 5th in the NFC last year, 1977. They didn't make that many changes, but they lost Ken Sanders last week, and Doug English is still out with his knee injury, but the backup guys are doing it. Purifoy and Cook have played well here in the first half. That's the end of the first half with Detroit leading 21-10.
At Pioneer, we don't build a high-fidelity receiver the way some of our competitors do. Instead of a pressboard bottom, our SX780 has a metal one that limits interference. It has power meters and a DC power supply for richer bass. It's things like this that have made Pioneer #1 among people who care about music. And isn't that why you buy high-fidelity components? Because you care about music? Pioneer's SX780.
When you break horses for a living and you do it wrong, they can break you first. But when you do it right, you can turn a terrified animal into a horse a man can count on. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, if you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Ford introduces a new wagon for the American road. The all-new LTD Country Squire for $79. A new wagon with more driver convenience, more handling ease, more window area, and more passenger room than last year's Country Squire.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
The all-new Ford LTD Country Squire for $79. See it at your Ford dealer now.
Super Bowl VI. The Cowboy defense shuts down the Dolphin running game, while the Cowboy offense piles up the yardage and the points. Super Bowl champion Dallas 24, Miami 3. You saw it on CBS Sports. Next Sunday on CBS Sports, see the 1978 Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys take on the Miami Dolphins in the NFL doubleheader game. It'll be preceded by regional games as the race for Super Bowl 13 heats up. Check your local listings for the games and times in your area. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
All right, back live in New York, and the New York Giants are about ready to go in on New Orleans. The Giants lead that game 10-7, and if they can kick the extra point, well, they'd be up by 7 more. Now, what happened was that the Giants set up to kick a field goal, and off of the formation, they called a fake, and they hit the first down pass to the 1-yard line. So now the Giants are coming up with a 1st and goal, leading 10-7. You are watching this action live from the Superdome, and a great shot of that offensive huddle of the Giants, who appear to be like the Chicago Bears of a year ago, the surprise team stuck in the playoffs. And Pisarcik will bring them in after the officials get everything squared away down there. St. Louis leading Philadelphia 13-10 in the 3rd. San Francisco trailing Washington and Billy Kilmer 21-13. That game is in the 3rd. Cleveland routing Buffalo 34-7. That's in the 3rd. Again, you're watching live out of New Orleans. Cincinnati shutting out Houston by 14 points, 14-0. So the Bengals may win for the first time. And Pittsburgh leading Kansas City by 3 in the 3rd. 20-17. That's the time left in the half in New Orleans, upper right-hand corner. New England, 48. The Jets, 7. Steve Grogan threw for 281 yards in the first half of that game. And, of course, the contest you're watching, 21-10, Detroit leading Chicago. They straightened up the clock. That's why the delay there. They go to 21 seconds. Here's Pisarcik. Zonka and Taylor are his running backs. Zonka straight ahead for the touchdown, and the New York Giants have got 7 more. And Jane, what have you got for a change of pace right now for us?
Well, have you ever wondered what pro football players do with their off time? Well, some of them watch soap operas on TV, and I talked to one of the roughest, toughest players in the NFL who would rather miss a paycheck than an episode of his favorite show.
I'm interested in only one detail.
Tell him, Laura.
I will bet, just by coincidence, of course, that Jill is due back on the job today, too.
Do you believe this guy? While the other players are resting and recuperating after a tough morning's workout, Harry Carson, the meaner-than-mean middle linebacker of the Giants, rushes off the field into the players' lounge to watch his favorite soap opera. Will Leslie have Lance's baby? Who will Snapper choose, the lady doctor or his wife? And when will Jill get her hooks into Mr. Brooks? To tell us, here's Harry Carson.
All right. Casey fell in love with Snapper. And Snapper and Casey are, you know, they were uptight with each other. Then Chris came back home. Now, Snapper has 2 women. He doesn't know what to do. So he's playing the ropes, you know, he has both of them on strings. See, Jane, I told you it was simple.
Okay, I give up. But all kidding aside now. Middle linebackers are usually known for tackling, but the last 2 weeks you made key interceptions that have saved the games. You must be proud of that.
I feel very good about, you know, getting my hands on the ball. I used to be skeptical about trying to advance a fumble or interception because the person who has that ball draws a lot of attention. And, you know, I don't like to be the center of attention.
You really don't?
I really don't. I'm a very self-conscious person.
Don't you like making interceptions?
Well, I make them because I have to make them.
What was going on in your mind when you made the interception against Washington?
We were in a prevent defense. Washington was driving for a score. I fell back to my area in the zone, and Theismann threw the ball right in my chest. I saw my blockers forming. I saw the offensive men coming at me. I'm 6'3" and about 240, but I'm pretty fast also. I run about a 4.640. Some guys don't believe it, but, you know, I do. Running that interception back kind of proves it.
Will Harry Carson continue making game-saving interceptions? Will the surprising Giants make it to the playoffs? To find out, stay tuned to the second half of the NFL season.
Robert Stelly, Marjolewski, Cat Cabbage, what would they think about that? And the NFL Today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
When that big moving van arrives at your house, can you be sure it's only your furniture that's being taken for a ride? Don't move till you see 60 Minutes tonight at 7, 6 Central and Mountain on CBS.
Well, Johnny, there was a distinguished football visitor to the Chicago area this week.
That's right, the Galloping Ghost, Red Grange, old number 77. He began his life at Wheaton High School. Then, of course, he went on to the University of Illinois and then to the Chicago Bears and helped make pro football. He came home and Wheaton welcomed him home.
Welcome, Red, Red! Tigers welcome you home! H-E-L-L-O! Hello! Hey, Red! Hello!
For 3 days, Wheaton will celebrate Red Grange. Old number 77 grew up in this town when it was a village of 3,000. Now Wheaton has 40,000 citizens, and there are 3 Wheaton high schools, but Red remembers just one.
I don't know, when I was in school here, I don't believe we had so many good-looking girls that I can remember. Either that or I'm getting old, one of the two. I played my first year in high school football, I played right end. I remember so well going out to the coach my first day, and he looked at me, and I was a little scrawny kid. I only weighed 145 pounds. And he said, "Kid, what do you play?" And I said, "Coach, what do you need?" He said, "Well, we have 10 men back from last year." He said, "I need a right end." And I said, "Well, I'm a right end." I played right end my first year at Wheaton High School, and the next year everyone graduated, and I was demoted into the backfield.
Demoted into the backfield, Red? Not precisely. Red still holds the career scoring record at Wheaton High and the single-game scoring mark at the University of Illinois, where he became the Galloping Ghost. Then, in 1925, with the Chicago Bears, Red starred on the famous barnstorming tour, 10 games in 16 days, that historians agree made pro football.
He had a play, you wouldn't believe this, which we conjured up ourselves. Any big shot halfback that was a show-off, we had a signal in the line, and we would call his play right through, maybe off tackle, and we'd all get out of the way and let them all hit him, and we'd tip the other team off. We cured a lot of big shots that way.
And you're the one that started that because they're still doing it, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I helped do it. And they did it to me, too. It's not a pretty sight.
You think it's rougher? It was rougher then?
Oh, I don't know. It's,
Seemed to be less injuries, or at least less injuries talked about.
I think the main difference that I see in football today, I don't think they're any smarter or any, it's like saying, is Lincoln smarter than the politicians today? Who knows? We were smart, and the kids had just as much effort, and they did not have as good equipment, and they were not as big. I would say the teams today would beat a team of my generation very easily because they would overpower you. They would outweigh you, 30 pounds a man all the way through.
We found some film from 1931.
I'm amazed at that.
Interviewing a little boy, talking to a little boy. You probably couldn't remember an incident like that.
Well,
talked to a lot of
I haven't seen any of that old film in a long, long time, and I remember we had some real good fans that were little boys that used to follow us around at Wrigley Field.
What's your name?
Wade.
Wade. How old are you, Wade?
4.
4 years old?
Yeah.
You're a pretty big fella, aren't you?
I know it.
You know it. What are you going to be when you grow up, Wade?
Ball player.
Football player, huh? So you like football?
It turned out that this little boy, who was 4 years old, is now a cameraman for us.
Isn't that amazing? I guess you can't believe that, really.
No, it really is.
Is he still a cute little youngster?
Oh, he's adorable.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I know he hasn't changed any.
Still a cute little boy, but he's a little bit older than 4. But Wade had that interview with Red Grange back in 1931. He now works for WBBM TV, CBS Channel 2 here in Chicago. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment. 21-10 Lions.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
You're confirmed in Chicago and St. Louis, and you're going to love the ending.
Meet our people-pleasing faces.
Holiday Inn Hotels are #1 in the world, with the best locations near where you want to be.
I can walk.
The most popular choice of locations. We want to make you comfortable.
Holiday Inn is #1 people-pleasing.
We'd like you to meet State Farm car insurance agent Mike Little, State Farm homeowners agent, State Farm life agent, and State Farm health agent Mike Little.
When it comes to family insurance, your State Farm agent is one agent who does the work of 4. And that makes things a lot easier for you. Just one agent to tell your needs to. Just one agent to call when you need help.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's my team, the Detroit Lions. And I am James Hunter. Everyone knows that Detroit is the automobile capital of America, but I like to show you the people that make it happen. They come from all over the world, the rank and file of some of our biggest unions, executives of some of our largest corporations. Here at the assembly line, it all comes together because these people work together. If they don't, Detroit doesn't roll. Working together makes you understand that each of us has special needs. Our United Way knows that. That's why they have programs like this that work to find good homes for black and biracial children. All kinds of people support our United Way because it helps all kinds of people. United Way works in the Detroit area. It works in your town too. Thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.